Shalom, shalom. All praise be to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahoshai, Bashim Rakakadash, double honor to the elders and apostles of great most on that we're well. Shalom to the hopeful elect worldwide. Yeah, man, this is the New York Times, but it's news on the UK. As it says here, UK top court says, the Transformers, got a speaking code. UK top court says Transformer women are not legally women under Equality Act. The Britain's Supreme Court ruled that the word woman refers to biological sex under the country's anti-discrimination law in a blow to transformer rights activists. You see how it's going full circle. See how like the liberalism is dying off. Yeah, because these look, all this liberalism, LG freakism, yeah, that's being pushed by the elites on purpose. Yeah, it's being pushed by the elites on purpose. It's part of their agenda. It's a part of the agenda concerning, Georgia Guidestone. You can say, well, what it is part of is population control. Why is it also an agenda? Yeah, not only population control, but also to influence the next generation, the youth, to be confused. And also, like, if you can change who you are, which you can't, but that's the perception of this ideology. If you can change who you are, if you can change your identity, then there's no limit to your idiotic behavior. Yeah. In other words, all levels of idiotic mentality is going to be acceptable. Okay. It's really to dumb down the people, man. To accept stupidity. But you see, they did a little bait and switch because they never believed this. Yeah, the elites don't follow this. And the elites pushed this ideology on the people for distraction, to make society weaker. Yeah. To make men more effeminate instead of, because men are naturally rebellious to things like this. Yeah, because it's not in the real man's spirit to behave like this, man, or to accept this behavior. Yeah, this is actually a psychological weapon. The LG freakism is a psychological weapon, man. To make people stupid, to make men weak. That's why they make them feel victimized by doing all these movies, TV series, Netflix series, and Marvel. They just pump all that LG freakism into society, man, to make it socially acceptable. Yeah, but guess what? The elites did this for themselves, man. Okay, to benefit themselves. But anyways, let me get scriptures, man. You can read the rest for yourself. Yeah, how is it all of a sudden they changed? You see how America and the UK is moving in unison? First, Donald Trump was saying this, who's a puppet anyway for the elites. Now the UK are joining the bandwagon. You see? Forgive me, man. I went on a bit maybe too long. Let me get scriptures, man. This is Deuteronomy 22:5. The woman shall not wear that which pertaineth unto a man, neither shall a man put on a woman's garment, for all that do so are abomination unto the Lord Yahweh, Hashem Yahushai, thy God. Yeah, so man's clothes are for men, men's clothes are for men, and women's clothes are for women. right? And what do these transformers do? They switch clothes, man. Men wearing dresses, okay, which puts a spirit on you, man. It activates a spirit on you, makes you effeminate and makes you girly like. Yeah, when a man's putting on a wig, when a man's stepping into high heels, when a man's wearing thongs and female panties and dresses and stuff like that, you know, you're taking the spirit of a woman, yeah, which is abominable according to scriptures. You know, that drag spirit, which they push in the schools, which is demonic, man. That's demonic and harassment, child abuse. Anyways, this is Genesis 1:26-27 says, and God said, which was the angels, Elohim, when you go into the word God there, yeah, and self-explanatory. After the comment, it says, let us make man in our image. So it's a conversation with multiple people. So it's plural, yeah, which is the Lord, Yahushua, and the angels. Yeah, let us make man in our image after our likeness. So we were made to look like the angels, you know, as they will call it, like we have a humanoid figure or body. Yeah, the angels engineered us, man, like the movie Prometheus. Yeah, so it's basically similar concept here. And let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he them. You see, that's the point there. Male and female created he them. So the birth, the genders were assigned by birth. Yeah, and there's no other genders but male and female, man. A man and a woman. Yeah, and this is biological. Yeah, yeah. DNA, chromosome, and divine nature, male and female, man. Okay, the Lord made it that way. This is Romans 1:25. It says, "Who changed the truth of the Most High into a lie?" Yeah, and that's what Esau has done. Esau, the so-called white man, you know, starting with the elites, these small hats. He's changing the truth of the Most High into a lie. Yeah, all these years of this LG freakism that's being pushed on the earth, it is a complete lie, man. It's complete. It don't add up, and it's just full of BS and confusion. You see, and it shows you how gullible these people of the world are. But you see, they forced this behavior. They forced this ideology, because if you were to speak against it, you know, you can get done in. You know, you could go do some time in the system. Yeah, you're called names. You know, etc. Who changed the truth of the Most High into a lie, and who worshipped and worshipped and served the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever, amen. And that's the spirit of this people of this world, man. And the Lord is only concerned about the Israelites, man, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, Hispanics, man, and more specifically the elect. Yeah, the people of the world are gullible. Yeah? The people of the world are just like, just as the elites look at them, herds of animals just following. Yeah, don't know any better. Don't have critical thinking, man. Yeah, Esau has clouded them and pumped their brains with corruption, man, and confusion. For this cause, God gave them up unto vile affection. This is a vile affection. Yeah, being a part of the LG freakism rainbow community is a vile affection. It's demons. Yeah, it's confusion. It's against nature. It's abominable behavior. For even their women did change their natural use into that which is against nature. You see, What's the natural use of a woman? Yeah. To desire a man, yeah, to help a man, to serve a man, to bear children. That's you're designed. That's your nature. You have a womb, you have eggs, yeah. You're supposed to bear children. That's the natural use of a woman, you know. The Lord told us to be fruitful and multiply. So that is the natural order. Yeah. So what would be against nature? The freezing egg spirits, you know, unaliving your children. Um, yeah, in that spirit of, dying alone, having hatred towards men. That's against nature. Yeah, being a part of the LG freakism, women and women, you know, carpet munching. That's against nature, man. Yeah, not desiring to look after children. That's against nature. Verse 27, and likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of a woman. Yeah, so the same thing likewise with the men. You got men and men being together. That's against nature. Yeah, that's sodomy. That's an abominable act according to the scriptures. Burned in a lust one toward another, men with men working that which is unseemly, yeah, unnatural, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error, which was meat. Yeah, so you're getting judged for doing that. That's why, there was I think a few years back they've been talking about certain diseases that these uh, people of that community have been getting, man. Why? Because you're doing an abominable act. You see? When you go outside the scriptures, when you don't follow the Lord's program and principles, that's when corruption and curses and destruction and death happens. Verse 28, and even as they did not like to retain God in their knowledge, and that's the problem with society. We live in a godless, wicked society. God gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient. It's like, what does it mean, reprobate mind? Because guess what? Years ago, this was classed, LG freakism was classed as a mental illness, which it is, which is, we know as spirits, which is demons. Adokimos, out biblical usage, not standing the test, not approved, so unapproved. Uh, to a unfit for, unproved, spurious, reprobate, castaway, rejected. So it's a negative sense. Unapproved, rejected, by implication, worthless, literally or morally. So these people are morally worthless, morally, decayed, castaway, rejected, reprobate. You see? They're too far gone. And this is their spirit. Yeah, doing things which are not convenient, not there's no gain, there's no benefit, there's no good that comes from it with this behavior. And look what it says, verse 29, being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters of God. That's the main thing. Despiteful, proud. That's, they call it the PRIDE, in the month of June, and they distort and pervert the rainbow of the Lord, but, which is wicked. However, their rainbow colors, I believe, is 6 colors, and the natural divine rainbow of the Lord is 7 colors, which is completion. But Esau does 6 colors, which represents, you know, his wicked numerology, because Esau, the devil, loves his number 6s. Anyways, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents. Yeah, this is an invention of evil things. The LG movement ideology, LG freakism, is an invention of evil things by the elites, man. Again, depopulation, to corrupt the minds of the people, so that they would to make them accept anything, and to make them accept anything, man. No matter how ludicrous it is. Because guess what? If you can say that you are a transformer, and you like to get penetrated, what you have no morals. Do you know what I'm saying? And what will at the end result, what will stop you from taking the CHIP, the MOTB? Yeah, if you're so acceptable with all this madness, yeah, what's gonna stop you from taking, the MOTB and Revelations 13:16? Yeah. This disobedient to parents, without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful, who knowing the judgment of the Most High, that they which commit such things are worthy of being unalived, man. Destruction. Not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them. Yeah, so they enjoy doing it. Yeah, not looking to repent at all. That's why they're going to be destroyed. Yeah. This is 2 Corinthians 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. His devices are what? His schemes. Noema, in the Greek, noema, outline of biblical usage, a mental perception, thought, an evil purpose. This is what it is. It's an evil scheme, evil agenda, evil purpose. It's by design. Psalms 55:21. The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. Yeah, so he will always try and plaster it as if it's something good. Again, he put the notion of the LG community as a people of victims, people that are facing discrimination. Yeah, when we know the people that are facing discrimination the most is the Jakes, man, the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, especially, but Latinos, Native Americans, Hispanics too. Yeah, and good thing to do. I think you can watch it on YouTube or BitChute, which BitChute is done now in the UK. Now they shut it down for UK, showing you the famine of the word is approaching in the UK. But maybe Rumble, stuff like that. You can look up documentaries of the sexual revolution, man. Yeah, the pushing of that wine of the LG freakism, man. Yeah, and promiscuous behavior amongst women. Yeah, that overshadowed Jakes trying to fight in the court systems for validation and fair treatment. Yeah, it got out. When you go into the documentary, it got outruled. Yeah, Negroes were basically looking towards Esau, the so-called white man, for justice and stuff like that. Yeah, but they gave more rights to the LG people. Yeah, and definitely in Barack Obama's administration too. Anyways, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. So, yeah, he will market it well. Yeah, he will push it all in his media and his movies and TV series, shove it down your throat with all this LG freakers and madness. But guess what? It's actually a psychological attack. Like I mentioned before, to corrupt and confuse the minds of the people, especially the younger generation. That's why all these new generations that are, I think they were Gen Z or whatever, people that are 16, 18, 19, 21, early 20s, early teens now, they're far gone, man. At the age of 12, you're seeing girls hold hands. Yeah. Yeah. Young age, you're seeing two young boys, hugging each other inappropriately, man. You see, the younger generation is done because they grew up consuming what these elites have been pushing out, which is a part of the agenda. Population control, confusion, corruption, and just all out wickedness. This is Job 20, verse 5. That the triumphing of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite but for a moment. Yeah. So Esau's kingdom is coming to the end. That's why he's desperate. He's doing all these bait and switch. He's pushing his agenda. But guess what? His kingdom's gonna be cut down. It's gonna be short lived. Yeah, and he's a hypocrite because he promoted this thing, and now he's stopping this thing. Now, obviously, it's good that it's a man is a man and a woman is a woman, but he's a hypocrite because he pushed it out. Yeah, and he did it for a reason, and it was effective. It was wickedly effective, should I say. Though his excellency mount up to the heavens and his head reach unto the clouds. Yeah, Esau's head, he's so proud, he's in cloud 9. Yeah, he thinks no one can bring him down. Verse 7, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? Yeah, that's right, man. So Esau's empire, kingdom is coming to a stop, man. Anyways, with that, all praise be to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushua, B'Shem Kakadash. The one is the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom.